Hey everybody, hi Ben, good to see you, man. And as promised, uh, yeah, some underground stock today. Uh, in a minute, over this shoulder, you should see the S stock coming around. Yeah, it should beat the other one there. Here comes the S stock. Hey, no lights in that, strangely enough. I don't know why. Hello, James. Nice to see you. Welcome in. Uh, and for you, it's very, very morning. Yeah, and that's the just over my right shoulder there, right? Yeah, that's the 1938 stock. I'll shift the camera in a minute so you can get a better view of it. Ooh, 8 a.m. Ooh, huh. Yeah, I've got this. This is something I ordered, and it came pretty fast. They must have a warehouse in England somewhere. Uh, Looking at the LTM website, apparently Train Tech sell battery kits for these. Yeah, yeah. So it's got a battery in it, and you just shake the train, and it wakes up the lighting. But it'd be a pain if you don't put the battery somewhere convenient to change that battery. I don't know how long they last. They might last for months, but who knows? Um, It'd be better to run something from the DCC for it. But well, I can always look into that. Up at 7th. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Anyway, so from China, I ordered this here packet of 4-aspect lights. Uh, that's the packet. There was 8 in a packet. Here is one of said items. So these follow European American standard, where the LEDs in it are how do you phrase it? Um, all of the all of the anodes are common together, instead of over here we have a common negative. These ones are a common positive. So you get all of that black wire there, and you put your positive in on that, and each of those, which represents a color of light up the top, 2 yellows, 1 green, 1 red, um, they are all the cathodes. So that's the way that works. So when I get a sequencer for these, I've got to get a common positive instead of a common negative. That's the only difference. They are a bit sort of clunky. They need painting grey to match up with UK sort of standard, but they're a close facsimile, and they were 1/10 of the price of the equivalent unit over here. So if you get a Burco set of 4-aspect lamps, that'll be about 12 quid. I paid £20 for 8 of them. It's a no-brainer, and they got here within a week. Hello, Robert and Chris. Nice to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, I can tart them up with a bit of grey paint. Put a telephone box down here somewhere painted white, and you have a little sign up there telling you the reference of the signal number. And that's all I'd have to do to it. Just paint it grey, a couple of little bits of plastic, painted white, and a signal number on it. And hey presto, that should do the job very nicely. Just remembering they are a common anode instead of a common cathode. But once you know that, yeah, it's red, double yellow, green. So let me pop that down there. If I adjust my camera on this one over here, you'll see them flash through the sequence very fast. So if I pop that there, forgive the vomit can. Right, now you can see the signal there, just about to be photobombed by the 1938 stock. There she goes. That one's lit. And it should trigger it now. That's gone to red. And as it clears it, it will go to yellow, double yellow, back to green. So that's the way our signalling works in the UK. Sometimes there's a flashing yellow as another layer of caution, but this is pretty much what we have. So all I have to do is get in touch with Clive Heathcote, get one of his sequencers and some of his Erdas 4 boards, and I can set up another 4. Yeah, there's the S stock. No lights in it except front and back. How am I going to use the lights? Okay, well, I've got 4 of them dotted around the layout on the downline. The first of which you can see right in front of you. That's got the mass sequencer underneath it, and that controls the rest. Because there's 4 of them, you can have each of them doing a different aspect. But once you've got a mass sequencer, you could have 2 signals if you wanted, and you could still have 4 aspect signaling. Because if you had one of them as the mass sequencer, it would, as soon as it cleared, go through the sequence, as that one just has. And I had to set that one that fast so they'd all clear, so you can have a fairly quick passage of train through it. So yeah, the S stock is very expensive. What happened is the London Transport Museum commissioned Bachmann to make the S stock, so they own the tooling, and it's very much when they say Bachmann can do another release as to when they do it. This is the later release because we weren't lucky enough to get one the first time around. They are still expensive, but with this release, you've got a full moquette check pattern on the seats inside. So they're not just painted one colour, they've actually put a little sticker on it or a tampo print with the check actually on it. So that's, I mean, really fabulous. I could get a magnifying glass and prove it, but I'm sure you'll take my word for it. And as you can see, I've put up some flying insect netting just across the door, just to keep the unwanted wasps and bees out, because it does seem to be in their flight path somewhat. Right. Oh. Yeah, nice and shiny those. Now, I do have a third London Transport. There's Charlie. Hello, Charlie. Nice to see you. Midges. No, more of the stinging variety, actually. Wasps and bees. Even the midges just they pitch up on the surface of that and then don't go any further. Yeah, perhaps they're all model railroad fans. Who knew? Who knew? Now, interestingly, the 1938 stock is going almost as fast as it can. It's not a very quick unit. They geared it right down, so it's got a maximum speed of about, I suppose, scale speed of about 40 miles an hour, something like that, which is what you really need for underground stock. But when they came out of the tunnels and they did an open stretch, they could actually get them up to 60, 70 miles an hour. But that's a fairly good lick for an underground train. In fact, I'll slow it down a bit the next time so you can get a better look at it. Yeah, I've got that wound up to 70%, but there's not much past that to make it go that much faster. Right, let's slow it down a bit. And of course, it's running on DC, so the lights drop down a little bit. So there you go. Nice and shiny. Yeah, that's true, Robert. A lot of the 08's pulling power is down to its gearing. Right. Whiz that up again to 70. I'll pop it on 80. And that'll give you an idea of what it's like at almost full power. A Sunday clubber is never late, Toto Wagons. He arrives exactly when he means to, Dino. Sorry, Diano. Haha. Model Railway Shed Diano. For those of you who don't know the story behind that, apparently Dino is quite a popular name in Holland for our Dutch brethren. But they say it slightly different. They pronounce it as Diano. This was a new one on me until High Fosen of H&H in-scale model railway said it, and I thought, oh, that's odd. But it was Ivo that pointed it out. So, yeah, it's sort of a running joke between me and Dino. But there you go. Dino's got a big enough chin to take it. So, yeah, it's a bit of a running joke. I do wear it a bit thin sometimes, but, you know, you can always clobber me when we get the gets. That's if you're going, Dino. Right, I'll just give you a slightly different aspect. We'll move it up here into the darkness a bit, and you can look out into the light. Sorry about the vomit can. How's that? Oh, look, there's a coploper. He'll be watching Van der Valk next. Yeah, I remember that well. Here we go. It's amazing how much smaller the 1938 stock is compared to the S stock. I mean, it's really, it's about 3/4 of the size. The scale is exactly the same. It is, I can assure you, it's 00 scale. But the real thing was really stunted for height. So you literally step down into it. And if you look at the curved tops of the doors as it goes past, you if you were tall, you really had to stoop to get in. But as you can see, the S stock is much more train-like. Yeah, good one, Ben. Yes, so Dino's going to be there on the Sunday. I'm hoping to get there both days. Obviously, I can drive it from here to Milton Keynes. Is about 30 miles, 35 miles, something like that. It means driving through Luton, but you can't have everything. Yeah, subsurface, yeah, there is a difference. But it just shows you how much room they really had to play with. And why the 38 stock got so stunted, I really don't know. There must be a reason for it. 140 odd miles. Yeah, well, that's the South Wales to Milton Keynes. always found Milton Keynes a bit of an odd place to get to. It was great once you were there, lots of roundabouts to keep you entertained, but, well, you know, but I suppose it's a bit more central than somewhere like Alexandra Palace, which is in North London. Great for the Londoners down there, but it's a pain even for somebody like Peter Dixon who lives in South London, sort of like Sidcup way. It's a pain for him to get there across London, thanks to their dwarf-sized idiot of a mayor. That was all fact, by the way. He is dwarf-sized and he is an idiot. Like that central line. Let's put it in line, large, circle, small. And 70 miles for Dino. Yeah, so are you somewhere in the Midlands, Dino? I mean, I'm sort of classed as South Midlands, whereas Welling Garden City, just down the road, is classed as London North. But then that's down to Royal Mail Postal District. Here's my pint of coffee. Cheers, gang. Oh, look, Lee's in the house. Hello, Lee. How's your hammer? I'll just demonstrate what I use to put in tacks if I'm ever going to tack down track. I'll get a set of punch like that. I'll start it off with a pin hammer like this. That's an ex-post office engineering pin hammer. I'd start it off until it's just got a hold. Then I'd put the punch on there. And then use that to follow it in. If you don't do that and you hit the surface of the rail, it's a long time hit. And that's not something you can polish out. And it's important to get a nice surface for your trains to run on. I'm sure you all agree with me. No politics, please, yeah. Did I see the price of the Markling Cop Loco? Yeah, did you see the trail of handkerchiefs that I left? I looked at it, I was crying my eyes out. It's 400 odd pounds for a 3-car unit. Yes, I took one look at that and I thought, nah, there's no way I can justify that on a whim. Hold the Hornby pin with a pair of pliers and that stops it bending. Yeah, that's it. But you need something to, as long as you keep your pliers high and you don't actually hit that rail, that's the important bit. Yeah, crazy money. Colin's engaged. Hello, Colin. Running a bit of underground stock today, what the Americans and Canadians would call subway stock. £624 in Jadlam Racing. Now, they're usually pretty cheap. But I don't know. It was a lot of money. And I thought to myself, well, I want one just because of its attraction, because of this this cockpit sort of here. So it looks like a bit of a jumbo jet. Plus with its doors opening and they could let passengers through the nose unit, so they stuck the driver up high. A brilliant piece of engineering to get around a problem. But the doors were problematic, so eventually they sealed them all up, and they would run 2 4-car units together, and you just couldn't walk through the whole train. That's all. Yeah, 17 and 6, Charlie. Yeah, particularly when petrol was 5 in the tanner a gallon. Now, Robert's train's on Conti board. Okay, so have to drill a hole for the thin ones. Yes, you would. Yeah, just to get through the melamine surface. Yeah. But it's sealed, so if you drop any water on it, it will just sit on the surface rather than sink into the chipboard below and swell up. So as long as it's intrinsically dry, you shouldn't have any problems, Robert. Anyway, you used to be a chippy, so you know your stuff all right. Pico. What about Pico? Working on a build for tonight's stream at 6. Now, Lee, is that a kit, or are you actually doing some model railway stuff? You've been there 3 years. Well, I'd say the proof was in the pudding then, wouldn't you? Oh, a kit. Okay. Here comes the S-Stock. Well, hey. Yes, this doesn't get run very often. A model railway card kit you got sent. Oh, okay. Well, as long as it's a Freeman's, mate, that's fine. Pico pins are very thin. Yes, I tend to go for them. They're also quite hard as well, but you have to be careful that you don't lop them over a bit, because once they're bent, ooh. So if it starts to bend, I just pull it out and put in a fresh one. But then I haven't used many of them. I put some temporary pins in while the copy decks dried and got the shape I wanted in the track. So I'd leave that overnight and then pull the pins out. And the copy decks is cohesive. It holds the track and the ballast there on top of the underlay, which is foam. And if I demonstrate, I can flex that without all of the ballast popping off or doing anything like that. You can probably see that giving. And that was important to deaden a lot of the sound. Because when you've got boards and you've got metallic and plastic rolling stock rolling on those boards, it tends to amplify it quite a bit. Oh, yeah, I see. Well, you can always use a pin vise and make some holes in the alternate sleepers just for the Pico pins. Yeah, panel pins. Panel pins tend to have slightly larger heads, though, and you need quite a shallow head. I do like the Pico ones. And on Pico track, particularly the Streamline, they don't have any holes in it. So if you wanted one, you'd have to get a pin vise, make a tiny hole, pop your pin in, and then drive it right through to the board below. It's a lot of work. Remember, you're lazy. I wouldn't say that, Robert. What I'd say about you is that you're structured. You've got the way you live your life is structured. So you will do you'll do swimming one morning, and then I'll do this on the model railway that afternoon. I'll cook at this time. Yeah, you seem to have it down pat. Now Charlie's got the Eurostar and the Class 225 running. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's not a word I usually use. When I say cool, what I mean is that's hot. I've always thought the word cool doesn't represent what you're trying to explain. Um, you're saying, yeah, that's really good, but then shouldn't that be hot? That's the way you like it, yeah. And yeah, respect, Robert. You've got everything just the way you want it, and that's important. Hey, there's Andy Dobson. Hi, Andy. Bit of underground stock for today. A Eurostar and a 225. Now, the 225, is that the vomiter? Now, Robert's been doing some ops with the Z21 app. Great fun. Oh, okay. I'm afraid that's a bit beyond my my remit. That is advanced. But fair dues to you, Robert. You've taken on board the technology and mastered it. So yeah, you've got some kudos for doing that. Which is why I tuned in. You were doing things that I only had a half a mind to do, and then when I saw how complex it was and how much I'd have to learn, it sort of put me off a bit. There's a lot to keeping it simple. Intercity Swallow. Oh, okay. Intercity Swallow. Yes. Oh, okay. 225. Yeah, I got it. So that would be like a class 90 type vehicle on the front with the grey and the Swallow livery. Yeah, I gotcha. A DR5000 with a phone and tablet, not a computer inside. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, class 91. Yeah, well done. Thanks, Ben. 2 times class 91. Yeah, and they really did whiz as well. I mean, they used to do 125 standing on their head. They used to do the York run, and very well they did as well. Yeah, 91 DVT. Tea. Yeah. Cheers. There's a coffee. And if I pull that around, it's a pint. It's a pint of coffee because I wanted it to last the whole of the live stream and keep its heat a bit, which it does. Oh, there's George. Hello, George. White Wall Wheels 1 Hardcore MOH. How are you, George? I thought I'd run a bit of underground stuff today. Whatever you like to call it, subway. There was a subway set that MTH did in the States. I think Walthers have done one as well, which covers the what would you call it? It covers the like Chicago, New York subway system, but they were quite expensive. They were 250 odd pounds, and then you'd have the import tax coming from the States because nobody over here imported them. So you'd have to buy it, and it would be at the mercy of the carrier to get it to you in one piece. And it wasn't a very good model either. It had DCC sound, but the end coach didn't have any lighting, any directional lighting. So you would have had to have started with scratch from that. Plus the power coach, which was the one at the front, had like frosted glass in it to hide all the gubbins. And it was a really half-assed sort of thing. And I thought, no, it looks the part at a distance, but under close scrutiny, it's not good enough. Oh, I'm so demanding. And that was what I took from it. I thought, no, it's not good enough for me to hoist out that kind of money. But if there's anybody in the States and one comes under their nose and it runs quite well and they want to lose it across this side of the pond, I'm happy to negotiate. Been on both of those subways, an architectural tour of Chicago at the weekends. Yeah, for anybody that's seen the Blues Brothers and all of their sort of hoisted trains and things like that, yeah, I very much would have liked to have got one of those sets, but it just wasn't quite there for me. Question. Yeah, go ahead, George. Was you had a wiper blade missing from a 67? Yes. What I did, I got a whole 67 body and nicked the wiper off of it. But I only got the body for £8. And I just couldn't get any spares anywhere for, was it the 67? Or was it the 68? I can't remember. I got a feeling it was the 68. So I got one of those dodgy painted, what do you call it, body shells from Daypole, and they were selling them cheap, and it had all of the wipers and bits and pieces on it, so I nicked it off of that. '67 though. Class 67. Somebody remind me. What's a 67 look like? Uh, 68 is 67 is a Hornby variety, yeah. What I think I had with the 67, I had a cracked windshield, and I had to get a body from, I think it was AC Spares in Southampton, and the body wasn't expensive. They were flogging them on eBay at the time, and I literally tore it apart just for the windscreen out of it. Nickname Skips, yeah. Angled front end Bobo. Yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah, I got it, Ben. Yes, I bought it at the shop, knowing that it had a cracked windscreen, and it was for a knockdown price of something like £100. It was brand new, apart from the cracked windscreen, and it had a whole segment of the windscreen missing, like somebody had punched it with a very sharp screwdriver, and that's all I had to do on it. I think even the windscreen wiper on that was still intact. So that's what I did. Right. Now what I think I'll do, I'll just pop these away and I'll get out the DCC version. Give me a minute. There we go. That one off. I'll leave that one open. Open that one. Right, I'm just going to move you a minute because the 38 stock is going to be coming in on this line. There you go. And you should see that come right past you. It's arriving. You don't get much posher than that. Right, here we go. That looks fast. It's only moving a couple of miles an hour now. Up to the buffer stop. Right, isolate that because I don't want to be feeding DCC into it. Right, turn that one off. Right, I'm now going to make sure everything's isolated. Yes, I'm going to flip over to DCC at the flick of a switch and open up number 2. Set the points for it to come out, which is red. Right, we are ready. Should be power on now. Yep. Lights on. Okay. And we have some sound. She's on her way out now. Direction. Change the points. And off we go. Forward. Right, should be coming past you any second now. I'll move you a little closer so you can get a better view. That's not very good, is it? How's about that? You can't see that, can you? Give me a second and I'll sort it out. It's probably better if I turn you around and you can look back that way. Yeah, that's more like it. Right, this is the Metropolitan Bobo. It's a Helljam model. And these also ran on the underground. There's the horn. Right, she'll be sneaking past you any second now. Can you actually hear the sounds? Swap ends with the logo just for the stream. There is a whole host of sounds with this thing. Let's see. Let's try the rail clack, which is F17, option 7. Let's try it. Option 8. Rail flat 2. Let's try the Mind the Gap announcement. Option 8. One of those wheels is clacking. But I think it's actually on one of the containers that it's pulling. Whistle's better. Announcement F13. What I'll do, I'll stop it and we'll just go through some of the sounds that this thing can do. What was that? Option 3. It's got 3 different wheel flanges, squeals on it. Doors opening, doors closing. All right, let's try this one. Option 2. Right, what I'll do, I'll drop the speed down till it's almost stopped. I mean, this thing can really go slowly. I mean, really. I mean, Hilljan did a bang-up job with this. Hello, Peter. Nice to see you. Yeah, I hope the driver knows where he is. This is on 18 speed steps out of, 124, whatever. "16 speed steps, 10 speed steps." That is 7 speed steps. That's 5. And as you can see, I'll just stop that there. We'll run through some of these. You've got the whistle, which is that one, and 4. This one. And F5 is another whistle, which is a quickie. Right, what else have we got? Compressor is F7. And there's another compressor on F8. Right, sliding doors on F9. That sounded pretty good, actually. Let's try that again. I like that. Right, let's try this one. This is F10, and this is Mind the Gap. Oh, what have I done? Select loco 5. Select loco 5. Enter. Right. We should be back on. Headlights. Yes. Headlight on. Right. What was the last one? That was Mind the Gap. Announcements. Stand well clear. This is F11. Oh, that was short and sweet. There's another announcement on F13. Let's try this one. District line at Tower Hill. That was F13. Option 3. Let's have another. Announcement Tings. F4. F14. Sounds very good. Okay. 15 is platform bell. Let's try this. I like it. Okay, let's try 16, which is a single stroke bell. Option 6. Oh, short and sweet. More like a piss pot, actually. Okay, that's 16. Rail clack, F17. Right, so option 7. I do like the sound of that. That is good. Option 7 turns it off. And then we'll try 18, which is option 8. Right, option 8. That sounds like it's coming in the platform. It does sound good. I hope this is coming across okay. What number was that? 18. Option 8. Right. 19 is mute. 20 is shunt and half speed. It's a sound wheel flange 2021. So option 1. That's flange number 1. F23 is flange number 2. Option 3. There's another flange. And option 3. And there's yet one more, which is F24. Right. Option 5 is the doors. Option 6. Doors opening. And then you've got a couple of like volume decrease, volume increase. So what was the last one I did? 26. So option 6. That turns that off. Let's get her moving, shall we? So there we go. Right, Boxcar Jerry missed another one. I don't know what. And some locos, the flange will not work unless it's moved. Yeah, this one does though. This is I'll read you what it says. This is by U-Choose. It's a U-Choose EMU London Underground. And I think it's really rather good. It's the best underground one I've seen. That includes the one that Underground Eric has done, which all sound a bit anemic. This one has got more sounds running concurrently. I think they just go through the sounds and let them work in like a queue. So here it comes. I think it's rather good. Robert, something on Tuesday, the very special large box. It's for the shed. Haven't built yet. You're not going to tell us what it is, are you, Colin? Nah, it's going to be a surprise. I can feel it. But you've got to remember that after all these years, we're used to... Bugger. We're used to Christmas by this time. And that sense of anticipation, we've got that well under control. But I want to know what it is now. Well, okay, Colin. You're going to have to build that shed now, because we really want to know what it is. In the real thing would have been very loud in the tunnels. Well, yeah. I mean, if it's any kind of warning sound or anything like that, it used to be quite scary. I remember as a kid going down to the underground, and the row it made coming into the platforms, and you had this huge rush of air. Why, Mr. Dodge, thank you for joining us. Here comes a little, this is a little London Transport Bobo. And there's Lord Howie's in the house. How lovely to see you. Yeah, I think it's that Backland container that's sitting on the back. That's making a sort of clicking sound. So it's obviously got something stuck on its wheel. Right, I'll give you a little toot of the horn as you go round. Right, I'll slow it down a bit so you can get a bit of a view of it. Because it seems to be monstrously fast. Yeah, I think it's a lovely looking little thing though. So let's get up a bit of speed. Speed, 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 speed. And as you can see, this thing has got a pretty good turn of speed. So from a very low shunting, where speed step 7 is hardly moving, I'm on 65 now, out of 128 speed steps, and it ain't no slouch. Right, what I'll do, I'll pop this one away and I'll get the other two back out, so we can say we've seen everything. Right, we need that one open. Slow it down. Right, that's the end of that. And lights off. And all I have to do is isolate that. Switch back over to DC. Okie dokie. Open that one up. switch that one over to there and back her off. Right, so that's outer. There we go. Right, turn that one off. Off we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, here again comes the S stock. That'll be coming past you in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. That is your Bachmann S stock. Yeehaw. Right, let's get the other one out. Let's see, I'm going to have to move the camera a little bit, otherwise I'm going to run straight over the cord. So let me back you off a bit to about there. By the way, Anthony, these are Marklin style AC 3-rail. I've got 4 of those there. They came off a coach. It was an MTH coach, which I think was designed for Marklin 3-rail. And we had to find what we could of insulated driving wheels just to put on this coach. But it'd be nice to have something that's actually made. Why? Good heavens. There's Peter Dixon. Hello, Peter. Welcome to my man shed. Well, yeah. Here comes a bit of Bachmann S stock. Ready? And there she blows. Right, I'm just about to get the 38 stock out. So here we go. Open that one. Coming past you right now. As you can hear, the S stock isn't the quietest thing in the world, but it's got a very low slung motor and gearbox type arrangement, so they could have the detail in the coach. Yeah, it's got a great glossy finish on that. Let's get it moving a bit faster. I'll just bring it out onto the down line. Or is it the up line? I can't remember. That's down, that's up. It's on the up line. Right, there we go. Just swap direction. Get up a fair neck of speed. And it should be coming back past you any second. So what I'll do, I'll pop you a little closer so you can see the action. If I come back a bit, you actually see the signal. There you go. Yay. There we go. How's that? It's a little bit squiffy, but I'm sure you understand. All very ad hoc. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit different, Anthony. It's not something we get out very often. You just got to have a wanting to do it. But they certainly run well enough, and they're an oddity like everything else that we like. Just one of those things. Oh, Charlie's on the way out. Thanks for dropping in by, Charlie. Eric is in the train. Where else? Oh, yeah, Underground Eric. Oh, that really spooked me, that did. Because, oh, it was Underground Ernie. That was it, Underground Ernie. Again, I think that was made by Bachman. But it had these moving eyes that moved backwards and forwards, left and right. And it really freaked me out. I one look at that and I thought, I can't look at that. No. I thought that was quite macabre. Sort of along the lines of Chucky sort of thing. Hey, there's Mystic John. Hello, John. Have a bit of Subway stock. Well, it's a pretty nice day here, guys. Let's have a look. Well, it says in the shed that it's just over 70 degrees. But I would say it was more, there's a breeze blowing outside, so I'd say it was more like 18, which is 64. It's great when the sun's out. As soon as it pops behind a cloud, it really does take the edge off the temperature. For those that didn't see it earlier, I managed to get hold of some of these, which are 4-aspect lights. Common anode, these are. So this is what you'd use in America or Europe. We tend to go with common cathode, which that one is working on at the moment. All it means is that I've got to get different boards with different chips in for common anode. But I'm quite happy to do that. They're roughly the same size as the others. I've just got to paint it grey, put a couple of bits of detail on it, and hey presto. And I got 8 of those for the princely sum of £20, including the package and posting. So when you consider that one of these costs about £12, something like that, you can see that it's a no-brainer. No, Rick's Railroad. Hello, Rick. Nice to see you. Nice. Subway stop today, Rick. This is the kind of thing you might see around London, particularly the S stop. That's still running today. But it's one of those oddities. They don't produce these things every year. They come out in a run. There's usually an association with the London Transport Museum because actually they own the moulds and they put Bachman on a commission to make it for them. So Bachman can only release it when London Transport Museum tell them they can. So this time we jumped on. The S-stop you see in the background, the grey, blue and red stuff, that's actually got a moquette printed on the seats inside. I mean, really, the detail is fabulous. But it didn't have any lights in the carriages, only front and back for direction. The other one, on the other hand, is again made by Bachman, but under the EFE brand. And these were an old model, an old static model they used to make. Somebody used to make it, and they got the moulds and decided to power it and light it. And I think they did very well. Well, we got 13 in and 13 likes, so I don't think we could do worse than that. That's pretty good. Thank you very much for stopping by and saying hello and chewing the fat. I'm not going anywhere yet. I'll just let them run. fact, I might treat you all and let my cockloper have a little run out, because I'm quite fond of that. I know it's an old lemur and it's a clunky old thing and it was made in the 80s and blah blah blah, but it's not 400 quid. Or what was it? £600. £600 for the Marklin or Trix one. And no, I'm sorry, I can't do that on a whim. If it was something I wanted since I was a child, yeah, I might have saved up the money and got it, but nah. Okay, it would have DCC, it would have sound, it would have all the bells and whistles, it would have all the lights in it, but yeah, all my thoughts were in Dutch on that one. I have 16. What have I got 16 of, Robert? $16 likes. Yes, I think you're right, John. Generally, when we bought something from the States and it cost £300, or it was marked up as $300, you'd expect to pay £300 for it. Once all the shouting and hollering was over and it was actually sent to you, and you got whacked by the import tax and everything else, and the postage and packing were extortion, like 50 quid. That was just one of those things. Hey, look, there's Sean Pacific Railroad. Hi, Sean. Ah, look, he's got his sunglasses on. Yeah, lucky devil. Well, it's not a bad day here, Sean. It's just temperate, and that's what we like. Anyway, it's nice of you to tune in from sunny California. You won't mention the big boy. Yeah. Well, for that kind of technical prowess that you need to put that kind of stuff together, that's going to be expensive, Ben, no matter what you do. A big boy is what it is. It's a big boy. And it's got 2 sets of 8 powered driving wheels and all of the rods that go with it. And it's a big thing. Even on N scale, it's a big thing. And I can't wait for you to get it. I'm absolutely tickled pink that you're getting one. But again, it's a lot of money. It's 500 odd pounds. And yes, I do have a couple of locos which are worth that kind of money. But the regular price about 6 years ago, I would have to 509 for a diesel, but I run 3 rail. So Rich Railroad runs 3 rail. Is that O gauge? Yeah, you want some Ray Charles, not just Justin Bieber. Hey, all right. Hey, mama, won't you treat me around? Yeah, all right. Ah, dear. Yeah, so you're on the big boys trains. Yeah. Big boys, the king of the locomotives, people say. Don't even have one yet. I'm sure you will, Sean. I'm sure there's something knocking around in your head which is saying, I really need a big boy. But having said that, you've got the next best thing, which is a cab forward. And that cab forward is really sweet. It's not cool, it's hot. It's German. You get either Beethoven or Rammstein. So I was asking some farmers, why does the scarecrow keep getting promoted? This is not a Hornby paraphrase, is it? Ooh. What did you get for 425 nicker, Alan? Oh, your big boy. Yes, of course. Yeah, that's the River Rossi version, which is now owned by Hornby. There. Oh, look, I've said it. Hornby. Because he's outstanding in his field. Boom, boom. Oh, I can see the man shed's got to you, Peter. I think it must be those parakeets that are driving you mad. Yeah, well, you got to have a few dad jokes. You know, something long-lasting that has a bit of history. Triangle. Okay. Well, I do actually have a little triangle down here somewhere. Hang on a minute. Let's see if I can find it. Right, let me just get this out and I'll plonk it right in front of you. Right. This is going to take a little bit of doing. Let me just take the box away. Right, here is Davy Crockett. Not Daisy Crockett. This is Davy Crockett. Okay, thanks for dropping by, Robert. Really appreciate it. Enjoy your lunch, dinner, or whatever you're going to have this afternoon. Yeah, the biggest parakeets you've ever seen. Oh, boom, boom. Right. Let me just get this a little sideways. That's what it sort of looks like. It's a 260. And this is a standard thing that Triang did back in the day where they raided the parts bin, probably based on an 060, and then they put a chassis on it which allowed them to do a bit of old Wild West. And yeah, it does work. I can prove that, but you have to have it flat out for the smoke unit to work, which is I always found a bit odd because it needs that kind of power. It needs 12 volts just to get the element glowing enough to make enough smoke. So what you could do is you could get a 0.5 ohm speaker with a big wattage and put that across the motor so the motor goes slower, but it's still excuse me, it's still getting 12 volts at the smoke unit. Yeah, thanks for popping by, Robert. Appreciate it. Yes, it sure do work. Oh, look, there's Clive. Hello, Clive. How's the roof? And no, Clive, it hasn't derailed. I'm just showing you what the old Triang stuff used to look like. A Davy Crockett. I've got it second hand. What I had to do actually was adjust the driving wheels a bit because they were catching on the frogs. And to make it run on this track, I had to pull the driving wheel a little out on the plastic push so it actually cleared front and back, because the centre wheel was a blind driver to allow it to get round silly radius curves. Oh, you're still effing around with computers? Well, it seems that a lot of us do that a lot. Still, there you go. Anyway, that's my little triac. Whoop. Woo! Come back. Sorry about that. There you go. Normal service is resumed. But yes, it does work. Ah, yes, a man after my own heart. Well done, Rick. I do like the smelly stuff when it comes to smoke. I think we've got a Christmas one, which smells really fruity. It smells a bit like Christmas cake, and it was one that MTH did, and it come in like I don't know, it's about 10 fluid ounces or something. It's quite a large bottle. But yeah, I like the diesel one and the steamy one. That smells good, but it can hang a bit heavy. Anyway, there you go. Right, I see a Daisy Cocket model. Well, you could. What's the guy in the States who does the 3D figures? I think he's out in Greeley, Colorado at the moment with John Abaticola from what's his name? TSG Multimedia. Yeah, Mini Prints. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Bernard. Yeah, I suppose if you could hook up with Bernard, we could each have a Daisy. Now that's worth thinking about. Yeah. Now I think Daisy will be very popular, particularly for us nomads who actually know who she is, really. Yeah, Mini Prince Bernard. We do have a similar thing in this country, but whether there'll be at Gets or not, I don't know. Is it 3D? Come on, guys, help me out here. There's Warwick Road Andy. Hi, Andy. Who are the guys over here who do the 3D figures? Come on, Ben, you'd know this. Ben, save me. Model you. Thank you, Chris. Models for you. Yeah, that's it. Well done, guys. I knew I could count on you. I've got a brain like a sieve. Well, I haven't really. It's just that when you have to think of something snap just like that and you're doing a live stream, it just doesn't come to you. It really doesn't. Model U do scans. Now, it'd be an idea if we could find out if they're going to be at Gets, because that'd be an absolute blast. We could each have a Daisy and an Anthony Dodge as well. I'm not sure. Yeah, but they would probably be 00 scale, so they'd be slightly larger than the HO counterparts, wouldn't they? Mind you, I suppose if it depends, the rendering is done in a computer, so they could put it whatever scale you wanted it. either HO scale, like 3.5 millimeters to the foot, or 00 scale, 4 millimeters to the foot, or N gauge, 2 millimeters to the foot. I thought. You already have a HO, bought some old priests of Backman fella figures, all kinds of characters for Big Gulch. Yeah, but you haven't got an Anthony Dodge in there, and you haven't got a Joyce Dodge either. Cost 40 quid. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, Clive, should we go round with a hat? You'll pass. Don't tell me your hat isn't that big, Clive. There's something I got just recently. Little tufts of grass. In days of old, when knights were bold and paper weren't invented, they wiped their arse on tufts of grass and walked away contented. Sorry about that. Ah. You try the app, you can do it on your phone. Ah, can you indeed? Is it still 40 quid though? Or do they knock a bit off because you've done the scanning? Yeah, we could probably get hold of Jim Tedesco and he could probably knock it up on his 3D printer. Customized, huh? Well, it sounds good as long as you haven't overdone it in certain areas. How would the real thing ever live up to it? Customized, yeah. Be interesting. Yeah, for those that joined a little bit late, I got some of these from probably a factory in Shenzhen, China, or somewhere like that, which are 4-aspect lights. What I'll do, I'll just give you a quick raw around the layout. You'll see some little white bits that I've put. First one, if I lift you up, is over there behind the sig box. You see that little white lump there? That's the sighting of one signal. So if I then go around a bit, you will see another white lump over there. That'll be where the second signal is. If we continue around, that will be where the third signal is, over there. See that little white lump? And the fourth signal, let me just untangle myself. Whoosh! Is right there. So I just put those out as a marker, just to just give an idea of where I wanted the signals placed. Let me just pop you down there. That should do nicely. Oh, look, there's Hi. Hello, Hi. Nice to see you. They're running a bit of Subway stock today. That's Backman S stock. And coming from behind you will be the 1938 stock. So called because I suppose it was made in 1938. That's coming around now. There you go. In shiny maroon. Fully lit, apart from the ends. So what you've got is the EFE model, which you just saw, has lighting inside, but no end lighting. So no lights, no rear lights. This one's got front lights and rear lights, but no internal lighting. But it has got a moquette printed on the seats. Okay, thanks for stopping by, Sean. Always great to see you. You have a good day, buddy. Here comes the S-Stock. Through the sunlight, baby. And coming from behind you will be the 1938 stock. Over underpass, yeah, right, sure. What I'll do is just turn all the lights out, run it in the dark. You'll never know the difference whether there was a tunnel there or not. Excuse me. Oh, cheers, everybody. And just to the extreme edge of the screen, you can see my Lima cockloper. Yes, I noticed we haven't seen George Schimmelpfennig today. But I did pass on that if you like model trains, he might like to take a look at Anthony's live stream on a Friday night. So next week, Anthony, you might find that George Schimmelpfennig will actually come into your stream. Brilliant name, that. Schimmelpfennig. Mouldy penny. Yes, it's that kind of weather. It's a little breezy here at the moment. You can probably see the trees on the insect net just wisping in the background. When the sun isn't behind cloud, it's quite pleasant. Around about 68, 70 degrees. When it drops behind the cloud, it really does, the temperature plummets a bit. But I'm glad you're having a good break, Hi. You see lots of folks peek in once and never return. Only a special crazy few come back. Yes. Hello, Mike. Nice to see you. A little bit of underground stock today. I'm going underground. That wasn't even in key. I'm going underground. Yeah. Here comes some S stock from Backman. And from behind you will be the 1938 stock from EFE. Yeah, so probably collectively they're around £800 or £900 worth. They weren't cheap. But there's no way I could pay £600 for a cockloper from Trix. That's madness. All right, you get a fantastic model, but unless I was going to go completely Dutch, then well, it's not worth it. I'd literally have to flog everything I could if I went completely tricked. A flying visit from Mike. So what are you up to today that means you're flying around, Mike? (70 to 73 degrees Fahrenheit). Sunny and almost no clouds. Ah, that's the way you want it. As long as you haven't got your thumb poked in a dike somewhere. Another hoary old sort of Dutch joke, along with tulips and diamonds and things like that. Trevor Stubbs is going live at the Severn Valley Railway Diesel Gala. So if you fancy the Severn Valley Railway Diesel Gala, trot over to Trevor Stubbs' site now. I'll be closing the stream down in a couple of minutes. That's something I might like to watch as well. Excuse me. Heading off with the wife. Needs must. Yes, I understand. That will be soon at Putnam Junction. Correct? Oh, that's great. Hi. Yeah, look forward to seeing some more of that. Always nice when a new layout comes together. Speaking of crazy, you need to get your butt off to the shop so you can get the first bookcase together. Haven't you finished yet, Anthony? I'm only pulling your leg. So long, Anthony. Nice to see you. Thanks for dropping by. And enjoy your day and enjoy your week. That be the one. Choose the better side of the partnership. Laugh out loud. Ha ha. Yes. Let's just say equal partners, huh? And a safe trip to Europe. See whomever, whenever. We certainly will, and we look forward to it. And when we get to Getz, oh, what larks. Tell you what, I haven't seen the doggy invade my space today. She must be having a bit of a sleep on the sofa, I think. Okay, thanks for dropping by, Al. Good to see you, mate. As ever, love your videos and your live streams. Keep them coming. Always interesting and funny. And always a pleasure to watch. So long for now. Yeah, that'd be great if you could make that. But it'd only be of limited interest. There's quite a bit of American stuff there, a little bit of German. There are people that do like old lemur things, so you get the odd coploper come up, things like that. It's generally not very expensive because, well, nobody really models it here. But yeah, you do get the odd oddity in our fine country. And it just depends whether you want to dip your toe into it or not, Hi. But there's always quite a bit of engage stuff, in scale, engage. Yeah, there is generally something for everybody. Plus you're going to have, what's his name? Pete Waterman and his 3 sets all aligned together. So that should be a jolly wheeze. Well, they MWL opened a new section beginning of May. Right. Should make a good rail fan. Yeah. The Miniature Wunderland in Hamburg. Yeah, that's quite a place. Well, I suppose particularly if you like German trains of the continent, there's bound to be some Italian, Swiss, Austrian, perhaps a bit of Dutch, plenty of French. But of course, we've got scale that divides us as well. 176 and 184th, they're quite a bit apart. Not that you notice much, because my coploper right here looks quite at home on the layout, running 00 stop. It must be quite a big train to be of a similar size to our 00. So, yeah, it must have a pretty high loading gauge. Yeah. Yeah, obviously it's great to meet up with other YouTubers. It's an experience I've had at Worley. I met Brian there, and various other people like Jenny Kirk. And yeah, it's great. It's great to see other people who do similar things to what we do. And I met Alan at Getz last year and Robert. And yeah, it's great to see people in the flesh and to press the flesh and say, hello, how are you, mate? It's really good. Yeah, it's great to have a shared interest. Obviously, we're stuck into our little corners, really. But I try and run a bit of everything, try and keep it fresh, even if it's preposterous and it wouldn't actually run in real life. So I could have a German train and a Dutch train now. I could have German and English, or a bit of American and English, a bit of German and American. I can mix it up. And it's rule one. You do exactly as you want to do. All is based on Marklin Rouse, and they show all of the world. Yeah, oh, that's good. Yeah, I wonder what Marklin do when they have to come to the United Kingdom. They probably get one of their models and ponce it up to look like a UK train. You could do that. No reason you can't. Anyway, let's grab the machine. Put it back on yonder. There we go. Oh, I'll sit down. Here I am. Yes, I know I've got my jumper on. As I say, when the sun goes in, it's obviously it gets a little cool in the breeze. So I thought, well, if I'm just in the shirt, I've got nowhere to go. I can always take this off. But would I consider getting an ICE train? You notice I didn't say ice there. Would I? Obviously, it would have to be a Trix or a Roco, and they're going to be expensive. Would I? Well, an ICE is not odd enough for me. It looks like any other high-speed type train, like a Class 43, a Pico. If it was odd enough, I'd go after it. Um, that's my modus operandi. There's got to be something about it that reaches out, grabs hold of me, and says, "Buy me." Um, yeah, if it's odd enough and quirky enough, I'll have a bash. Um, obviously, you don't want to be spending your lifetime of inheritance to get it. So that's tough. Hello, Jackie. Oh, not too bad. That's good. Okay. Just don't forget to start the little fire under Lee so he wakes up at 6 o'clock in enough time for his kit bash. So, if you've got a cattle prod, that might work. So, Lee, wake up. Only joking. Anyway, I'm going to. I need another refill on my coffee. Don't know if you've seen it, but it's a pint mug. So that usually lasts an hour or more, and it tends to keep its heat in that quite well. Anyway, so I've got a bit to do. Glad to see all of the trains have behaved themselves today. Everything I've tried has worked. All of the points have worked. No derailments. Don't generally get any anyway, but it does happen. Leah's got a new name, Pansy Potter, the strong man's daughter, who was heavy-handed. Anyway, thanks everybody for popping in. Great to have your company, and I'm going to call it there. Again, thanks for popping by and spending a very nice 1 hour and 42 minutes with me. 16 likes, which is great, and I'll see you all soon. Adios, amigos.